27, now there's one BG14. You know, I really have to question why the president is so vicious towards me. You know, again, it's just the same thing over and over again. Why are you so vicious? Why is the conglomerate so vicious? It's really, you know, I mean, as angry as I get, I never say that what's happening to me should happen to other people. So it's really, you know, it's really churlish, it's really gross, it's really like beneath the office of the president to act the way that he does. You know what, you can't take criticism without resorting to, hey, I've got nudie pictures of you and I'm going to show the world. You know, I mean, what does that say about you? Anyway, so the John Mayer thing, I'm feeling like, well, you know, it took me a long time to kind of understand how these people kind of do things. It's very, they don't have a lot of social structure that is like the kind of social structure that I'm used to. You know, they're always kind of moving around. This is, I suppose especially true of musicians, they're always kind of moving around. You know, they decide what they're going to do with their time, much more than people who don't work for themselves that way do. They're moving around the world. I mean, it's a lot more, and I suppose for that reason, their relationships, their friendships probably are not as much affected by that. And in fact, probably maybe even it's easier that way because you can call somebody up and be like, all right, well, you know, I'm going to be on tour near you and I want to see you and let's hang out. And, you know, and there's also email and texting and all that stuff. So it's like people do not have to like lose their friendships like they used to have to do. But I'm just kind of thinking about this stuff out loud. I'm not really that upset about it. No, it's like, especially considering the fact that, you know, John Mayer, like so many other people, kind of in his category of people that I've been interacting with, just you know, does not have the moral considerations that I have about really serious issues. And so that's just kind of it for me. You know, especially if it were, I mean, even if he had like decided to like see me, visit me, talk to me. I mean, what he like, what good would it have done me if he was going to backtrack? You know, the only thing that's worse than kind of being in this kind of interactive state, a kind of like indirect interactive state on the internet with people like this. The only thing that would be worse than that would be to actually go through it in person. You know what I mean? Like, to be always like having these arguments of just like, would you please stop promoting child molestation? You know, would you please stop promoting these videos of me? I mean, how that would be so much worse. You know, and as far as whatever's going on with him and Katy Perry, I think I never meant to attract him in the first place in 2012. I think it was 2012 when I was just like, you know, there's some of his music that I just really like. You know, I'm not alone in that. There's lots of people who like his music. I found this one song in particular that I just really liked the way he had done it. I listened to it a bunch of times, but I was not trying to get him to like me, and I was not trying to attract his attention, and I was surprised when that happened. I was surprised. And I guess I felt like, all right, I was never trying to break him up with Katy Perry at all, and that was pretty clear at the time. And I just kind of sat there to see what he would do, and said, you know, just. But I don't know. You know, I mean, maybe I should have just been like, all right, well, you know, you have a girlfriend, and I'm not even. This is like totally out of the question. Maybe that would have been the better thing to do instead of saying like, well, you know, you guys figure out what you want to do. I don't know, because I don't really know. I mean, how am I supposed to know? But I was never trying to hurt anybody. I was never trying to break anybody up. I think they stayed together and then they sort of separated, and, you know, I mean, if they want to get back together, you know, that seems like that's fine. I would appreciate no longer being the subject of abuse, though, you know, and the issues that I'm concerned about, you know, obviously things have kind of taken a turn for the worse for me over the past couple of weeks, which I guess I can always expect when I get involved with these people at all, you know, which is hard. It's hard to do that because, of course, it's kind of a cycle, you know. In the first place, I'm in the situation that I'm in because of people treating me like that, and then it makes me really isolated and makes it really hard for me to get to know people in a normal way. So they end up being the same kind of people that I have to like. I feel like there's my only options for like actually getting to know people. But you know, if they were going to stand up to the president, which nobody does that. You got, and I guess I have to kind of question that. It's like, well, here I am, poor, you know, government dependent at this point because working is so difficult because I get so abused at work. You know, going through hospitals and shelters and all this other stuff, and yet somehow I stand up to the president every single day, and you don't, even though you have all the money in the world and personal security and all that. So I think that's kind of a question in my mind. You know?